Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he probably was like, we don't want Kyrie to leave. Like, but if Kyrie said, I don't want to be here, he probably was like, fuck it, he don't want to be here.
You know, every time you play with LeBron, it's going to be a lot of media attention. It's going to be a lot of back and forth of narratives. It's going to be about a lot of spun narratives. It's going to be a lot of politics. It's going to be a lot of shit that a lot of people don't see in front of the camera.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. What if I told you everything you thought you knew about the Kyrie Irving and LeBron James breakup was a straight up lie? What if the whole sob story about LeBron being crushed when Kyrie left was nothing but a carefully staged PR script?
Man, Bron dropped the marker and just lays back in his chair for about 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word. Like, just pissed off.
And what if 3 NBA insiders just ripped that fairy tale to shreds after we've been spoon-fed it for 8 years? Tyronn Lue once sat down with Shannon Sharpe and painted this tragic picture. LeBron at his foundation, jersey in hand, marker dropping to the floor, just sitting in stunned silence for 10 minutes when he heard Kyrie was headed to Boston. Lue swore the king was shattered, absolutely broken.
So I come sit next to Bron. We sitting there, hands on the phone, Sports Center. Kyrie Irving's just been traded to the Boston Celtics. Man, Bron dropped the marker and just lays back in his chair for about 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word. Like, just pissed off. And Bron was crushed. And I saw when that happened, I thought things would I thought Bron would do something different, sooner than later, and that's what he did.
So you believe LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland had Kyrie stayed in Cleveland?
Yes. I think so.
Damn.
But then, Jeff Teague went nuclear on that whole narrative. Teague, a former NBA guard who knows the locker room truth, looked dead into the camera and dropped a bomb. He probably don't care, bro. He probably don't give a damn. I'm going to LA anyway. And Teague didn't stop there. He smashed the whole NBA brotherhood myth, saying when the lights cut off, players are pros first.
I'm starting to believe, I know LeBron get people traded, but I don't think he be knowing everything. Like, sometimes he be like, he probably don't care, bro. Like, to be real, like playing basketball, you really don't care about other people.
Like, to be real, you don't really care about other people? You honestly don't. That's coming from someone who lived it, not some outsider guessing. And then there's Rob Parker, the guy who's never been scared to call LeBron out. Parker has been telling us for years that LeBron's tears and outbursts are just performances, calculated, scripted, manufactured emotions for the cameras, not genuine feelings.
Like, when he go home, he probably like, hey man, we need this person, we need that person.
Yeah.
And then after a while, he probably like, I don't give a all right, bro.
Now check the receipts. Kyrie himself recently spilled on Twitch. When you're playing with somebody like Bron, it's a different animal. It's a different journey. It's gonna be a lot of media attention, a lot of spun narratives, a lot of politics. That's straight from Kyrie's mouth.
Like, to be real, like playing basketball, you really don't care about other people. You honestly don't. Mook, you know that.
No, we don't. But Bron, his situation a little different.
He wasn't talking about love and loyalty. He was talking about pressure, manipulation, and non-stop storylines. And the timeline makes it even crazier. LeBron already knew the Warriors with Kevin Durant were untouchable. Cleveland's championship window was slammed shut. So according to Teague, LeBron probably didn't even care about Kyrie leaving because he had already mapped out his escape route to Los Angeles.
Once again, if he had enough rings to be considered the greatest, it would be okay. This is a typical LeBron. He doesn't feel like he's going to get there, and that's going to be held against him, so now he's going to downplay the ring. He's talking about winning rings, because that's what he wanted to win.
The King had his Hollywood exit strategy lined up before Kyrie even filed his trade request. But here's the wild twist. What if LeBron actually wanted Kyrie gone? Think about it. The perfect scapegoat. When Cleveland inevitably fell to the Warriors, LeBron could shrug and say, hey, my co-star abandoned me. That sets up his move to LA as the heroic, misunderstood superstar betrayed by his partner.
So he's had AD and Luka on his squad, and he's 2-12 in the NBA playoffs. And he looked all of 40 last night. I got one message to LeBron James. A, you deserve all of this because you keep messing around with the teammates, the roster. At least you won a championship with AD. Messing around with the roster, messing around with the coaches. Told Darvin Ham, who took you to the Western Conference Finals and won an in-season tournament, you'll hang a banner. He was no good. You get your podcast partner, JJ Redick, with no experience.
Tyronn Lue swore he begged Kyrie to stay, comparing it to Kobe and Shaq. But what if Lue was the only one doing the begging? What if LeBron was sitting back, watching it play out, letting Kyrie take all the blame while he quietly orchestrated his own departure? And you can't ignore LeBron's history.
When you're playing with somebody like Bron or somebody that you guys like to compare him to, it's a different animal. It's a different journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're automatically expected to be at the top of the charts, the top of the league. You know, every time you play with Bron, it's going to be a lot of media attention. It's going to be a lot of back and forth of narratives. It's going to be about a lot of spun narratives. It's going to be a lot of politics. It's going to be a lot of shit that a lot of people don't see in front of the camera.
This is the same guy who staged The Decision in 2010, who plotted the Miami Big Three, who timed his Cleveland return perfectly with that Sports Illustrated essay. LeBron doesn't make moves by accident. He calculates every step like chess. Behind the scenes, Kyrie grew frustrated with the Cavs' dynamic.
The reason why I say I would have loved to play with Kobe, because I would have loved to have started my career.
But here's the part nobody talks about. How did LeBron actually respond? Did he fight to keep his championship partner? Did he sit down and have those deep conversations leaders are supposed to have? Or did he just let it burn down while lining up his LA future?
But that's like another Kobe and Shaq situation. I would never let it happen.
You're right.
Like, and I begged and pleaded. You know, Kobe.
LeBron said he begged and pleaded, said, hey, don't trade him. He still got a year on his contract. Don't trade him.
Teague's revelation about players not really caring the way fans imagine fits perfectly with LeBron's playbook. This is the same man who switched teams 4 times with surgical precision, always at the right moment, always maximizing his brand.
Bron was doing autograph signing with jerseys and stuff for his foundation. So I come sit next to Bron. We sitting there, handling the phone, Sports Center. Kyrie Irving's just been traded to the Boston Celtics. Man, Bron dropped the marker and just lays back in his chair for about 10 minutes. Doesn't say a word, like just pissed off. And Bron was crushed. And I saw when that happened, I thought things would I thought Bron would do something different, you know, sooner than later. And that's what he did.
So you believe LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland had Kyrie stayed in Cleveland?
Yes. I think so.
Always protecting the legacy. That's not heartbreak. That's strategy. But here's where it gets absolutely diabolical. Jeff Teague slipped in another detail that's been totally overlooked. LeBron already knew his next move. He wasn't blindsided when Kyrie asked out.
Because no matter how much money you got, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, at the end of the day, being a black man in America is very frightening, and it lets us know that we got so much further to go to be equal in this country.
LeBron James is not smart. He's a basketball player. He's reveling in pretending to be a victim. He hasn't been a victim at any point in his lifetime.
He wasn't scrambling after the trade. Nah, LeBron had been plotting his Hollywood jump the whole time while still selling himself as Cleveland's loyal son. And here's the smoking gun nobody wants to talk about. Remember how fast LeBron's camp pushed that heartbreaking story about him being crushed? Within hours of the trade,
LeBron James has got to be pissed. We all know Kyrie Irving got traded to the Dallas Mavericks, but when you see that trade package, you'd think the Lakers were able to get it done. The Mavericks traded Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a first-round pick in 6 years in 2029, and a couple second-round picks, and they landed Kyrie Irving. They got Luka, their second star. I know LeBron's about to be pissed because this seems very realistic. Something LeBron and the Lakers could have figured out. And who knows, AD, LeBron, and Kyrie, they might have been able to win a championship this year.
We had this polished tale of him dropping his marker, sitting in silence, devastated. That wasn't a leak. That was PR damage control at lightning speed. Think about it. If LeBron was truly heartbroken, would his first move be to have his inner circle feed emotional details to reporters? Or would he handle it quietly, like anyone else? The timing screams strategy.
There's video evidence of my teammates basically saying, like,
I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team gonna really turn around like that. You just hop on our bandwagon.
he's not ready, or there's
we have better players than him in his position already on our team, bro.
Or there's somebody playing his position, or we're not putting all our faith in the 18-year-old kid. My own teammates that I had to be on the floor with, practicing with, on the planes with. Like you said, you don't say hate, but just like animosity towards me. And I didn't come in with that type of aura. I just wanted to come in and learn from the vets and then put the work in.
Controlling the narrative before it could turn ugly. Rob Parker's been screaming about this for years. He's always said LeBron's reactions are staged performances, carefully designed to shield his brand.
Kyrie found out that after they won the championship, LeBron wanted Kyrie traded for Chris Paul.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? Wanted him traded. And I think that he found this out, and it cut him deep, and there's no trust. This makes sense on why Kyrie would want to move on and want to move away from the greatest player on the planet.
Parker argues LeBron can't stand criticism, so every public meltdown or teary-eyed moment is really just spin control. And now, let's flip it, because Kyrie dropped a bomb too. On stream, he said, "When I'm done playing, you guys will hear the real story." The real story? What truth has Kyrie been sitting on for 8 years?
And I applaud Kyrie. I think this is if this trade does happen and he gets to go to another team, I will give him a lot of credit for bucking the trend that LeBron started, which is piling up, going to play with all these super teams just to win a championship. Here's a guy saying, first of all, I have a championship in my pocket. And he didn't hitch onto LeBron's wagon to get it. He made the big shot to win that championship for Cleveland.
What secrets about that Cleveland locker room has he been keeping under wraps? Kyrie admitted there was a lot of stuff people don't see in front of the camera. That's chilling.
Shout out to Bron for all that, man. Knows how to stir up a media storm and get everybody in here talking about us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future and getting this series started now.
It hints at toxic dynamics, power struggles, maybe even a leadership style from LeBron that was way more suffocating than anyone on the outside could imagine.
Top 5 best handles of all time.
You gonna put Kyrie in there?
Kyrie's the best, bro.
Was Kyrie pushed to the breaking point? Was he basically forced out even after hitting the most clutch shot in Cavs history and delivering their only ring? You don't walk away from a dynasty unless the situation behind closed doors is unbearable. And here's the part that's really scary. The media played along. For 8 years, sports journalists sold the LeBron as victim script without once digging into the timeline or questioning his motives. Nobody wanted to peel back the curtain because to challenge LeBron's version is to challenge the entire sports media machine that profits from these fairy tales. It's way easier to push a simple betrayal storyline than unravel the complex reality of calculated manipulation. That's why Teague's words are explosive, because he's breaking the code. When he said players don't really care about other people, he wasn't being salty. He was exposing how it really works in pro sports. It's cold, it's business, and it's about survival at the top. The hidden angle is pure genius-level manipulation. LeBron positioned himself as the abandoned hero instead of the superstar who couldn't get it done. He preserved his legacy, dodged the blame, and punched his ticket to Hollywood at the exact moment he wanted it. And the basketball world has been losing its mind ever since. These revelations have fans spinning. People who spent 8 years feeling sorry for LeBron are suddenly realizing they may have been played. Social media is on fire with comments from fans saying they feel manipulated, that they swallowed a storyline built to protect LeBron's image while painting Kyrie as the villain. Lakers fans are torn, stuck between defending their superstar or admitting they've been sold a dream. Cavs fans feel burned twice, first when Kyrie walked, then when LeBron bolted. And now they're wondering if the whole thing was scripted from the start. The fallout is massive. If Jeff Teague is right, then one of the most infamous breakups in NBA history has been completely misunderstood. It means LeBron's move to LA wasn't the desperate act of a betrayed superstar. It was the cold, calculated move of a mastermind who got exactly what he wanted. Tyronn Lue swore LeBron would have stayed if Kyrie hadn't left, but Teague's revelation makes that sound like pure fiction. The truth? LeBron was heading west no matter what. Kyrie's trade request just gave him the perfect cover story. And look at how both players have handled it since. Kyrie later said, "I had to call Bron and tell him I apologize for being that young player that wanted everything at his fingertips." But was that real remorse or part of keeping the script alive to protect both of their reputations? The truth is out now, and it's way uglier than anyone imagined. Jeff Teague may have just exposed the biggest lie in modern NBA history, rewriting everything we thought we knew about loyalty, brotherhood, and manipulation in pro sports. LeBron James, maybe the greatest player of this generation, might have pulled off his greatest performance not on the hardwood, but in the court of public opinion. He flipped a calculated career move into a sympathy saga that made the entire basketball world cry for him, while he walked away with everything he wanted: LA, Hollywood, and his image untouched. The real question now isn't if Kyrie and LeBron will ever reunite. It's whether we can ever trust anything these stars tell us about their emotions again. Hit that subscribe button right now if you want the real truth about the NBA's biggest scandals, not the sanitized fairy tales the league spoon feeds you. And stick around, because the next story we drop is going to shake basketball even harder.